Welcome to the Prepped and Polished podcast, the podcast that empowers you to take control of your education, featuring weekly interviews with influencers in the world of education, as well as tutoring tips, lessons, and updates. And now, here's your host, Alexis Avila.
Hi everyone, welcome to another Tutoring Tips episode of the Prepped and Polished podcast. Alexis Avila, Prepped and Polished. Make sure to check out our website, preppedandpolished.com, for more info. And while you're there, sign up for our free tutoring and test prep tips newsletter. It comes out monthly. You can join our Prepped and Polished community on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. Just search for Prepped and Polished. And you can submit a question during or after the show to radio@preppedandpolished.com. We love hearing from you. Let's get right to today's episode. It's our Tutoring Tips episode number 121, what parents should know when choosing a private school. So choosing the right private school for your child should be a careful decision because it's both an expensive investment for the parent, and the private school community and experience will really act almost as a second home for the student. So here are my 4 tips for parents and students. So tip 1, make sure your student visits each private school to get a feel for the school atmosphere. So check out the classes, take a day and check and maybe sit in on a class, kind of get a sense for, the types of students walking around campus, talk to the admissions advisor, walk around the buildings, just get a feel for the school, breathe the school atmosphere for a day, see if it's something that you'd be comfortable attending. Tip 2 is make sure you agree with the school's philosophy. So each private school really has a different school philosophy, and you want to make sure that you align with that school philosophy or you won't be very happy at that private school. So is the school heavy on discipline, for example? Are the kids wearing school uniforms and it's really heavy on discipline, or is the school a little more lax with, like, say, dress code, for example, or does the school cater more to creative types, athletes? These types of factors should really impact your decision. Tip 3 is make sure the school has a low student-to-teacher ratio, because I find that students tend to thrive in small class sizes. So, and you're paying a lot of money for private school, so when you go to a public school, you're usually going to be in a class size of 30 kids, 20, 30 kids. So, get a return on your investment. Make sure that if you pay good money for a private school, that you're going to be going into a small class size where you'll get some more individualized attention. That's how you can learn the material faster, get your questions and questions answered quicker. Tip 4, get a list of the high schools and colleges that kids attend once they graduate. This will tell you more about the quality of education you're getting at the particular private school. So those are my 4 tips. This wraps up our show today. It's episode 121, what parents should know when choosing a private school. Be on the lookout for our next podcast, episode number 122. It's going to be my interview with award-winning teacher and blogger Vicki Davis, aka the Cool Cat Teacher. Remember to access all of our podcast episodes by going to preppedandpolished.com/podcast. Thanks for joining us on the Prepped and Polished podcast. Now go out there and take control of your education.
You've been listening to the Prepped and Polished podcast. For more information, check out preppedandpolished.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Class dismissed.